I forgot how good the Neon White soundtrack is. I love this soundtrack. I love this game. I need to still do the, what are they called? The Hell Run? Where basically you play the whole game without dying, one level after the other. Let's see. That's the button I meant to press. Okay. Welcome back to Kitty Found a Camera. Today, I'm going to do the electrical substation since that's one of the things that I need to do. Okay. I really like having it in the, like, official Kitty herself folder now, rather than just the Game Jams folder. That's a fun little, like, just a mental way to upgrade it. But okay, last time we did the moon, and today we do the stars. And by stars, I mean the electrical substation. It has no relationship to the moon. But okay, so I need to figure out what I want for an electrical substation. Let's look at electrical substations. And it doesn't need to look too good for this trailer, but it should be something that I can then, like, update and build on. So I think, if I learned how to do anything, let's see, we could make one of these little gizmos. I think this looks good, and then we can make one of these little gizmos. Yeah, it's just, I want to make it so that it looks correct, but I also have no idea how an electrical substation works at all. And I haven't really been able to, like, look at the diagrams and understand it, because, yeah, I was supposed to do this off stream where I, like, looked at the diagrams and, like, learned how a substation works and what the components are. But then I thought to watch YouTube instead and, like, just do other things. So let's just let's just make some boxes. Let's make one of these gizmos. Yeah, okay. So yeah, let's make, I was even gonna say, like, what I should put here, but I'm not gonna do that. Okay. Oh wait, no. Do we have the world in here? We don't. I love these stupid cursors. I think I should make more mouse cursors. Maybe just do more theming for the computer in general. Maybe if I switch to Linux, I'll do that. What the fuck am I doing? There we go. Well, hi. Welcome back, I'm doing well. Let's see, just working on a power substation today. But okay. Oh, and now it actually shows me the timestamps on the chat messages. That's nice. Why did it not show me those before then? But okay. I think, I want to get probably this whole part here as a separate thing. And so that way I can just load this scene independently of everything else. Okay, so let's do, that. Yeah, why are these not parented to this? Actually, wait, I can just move this whole collection. Wait, what the heck? Is this not in here? I guess I'll keep the lab passage separate. So are these parented together in some way? Okay, they are. Though actually, I'd prefer to have an empty plain axis here. And what I'll do instead is, yeah, I'll just put both of these there. Oh, I see. I think if I do this... There we go. What? Where the hell's substation 001? Oh, here. Okay, I see. Well, I don't really need these to do that, do I? This will be like, I don't know what these will be. I was gonna put bus station. But okay. So I'm gonna call this just substation. Substation. Wait, I don't even... That's not gonna do what it does. Okay. Let's just do... link? No, append. Go to here, project. What the hell am I looking for? Probably this collection. Oh, this is just how it's rotated. Is this? Oh. Well, just make it not rotated that way. Hang on. Okay, so we can kind of get this working. As long as I do, that. There we go. So now this should be... Oh, wait, hang on. Six. There we go. So now hopefully these are all, like, unrotated. And you know what? Apply all these rotations. Oh, I see. Okay, that seems good enough. Okay. Substation. So now I can just move this around without changing anything. And we'll have yet another thing that's no longer, whatever it is, no longer. Yeah, I'll figure it out at some point. Take your time, Godot. Okay. There we go. Substation. Okay, so each of these fences... Oh wait, first of all, they need to be, what is it, 8, I think? Player no trigger? I think that's fair. And then because you can't edit these, you can't edit multiple groups at the same time, even though they've made it significantly easier to do so. I just gotta do it this way, but that's okay. Okay, chain link fence. Is that what I want? Yeah, that's basically what I want. I'm concerned as to why it called itself Substation 2. Decor... Substation should be somewhere in here. Save. Okay. Now delete just this whole higher... Oh, wait. Interesting. Actually, there we go. Okay, so now we can do... I went too far. Decor, substation, substation, the whole collection. Isn't that beautiful? And now I can put like gravel in here and we can pretend that it makes sense. Why don't I just move that down? Is that right? I don't know. It's very hokey. But okay, let's call that good enough. Okay, so I want a cube. Because yeah, now we're going to make a gizmo. Some kind of who's it, what's it, like this. So yeah, it seems like there's usually 6 of them. Is that because it's like the positive, negative, and ground? That would make sense. So yeah, some sort of mystical gizmo gadget. And then, how would I design this? I guess I would actually mirror it this way. So basically, mirror that, clip the edges. Actually, would I rather have these be little, yeah, I think what I'd want is, transformer, S-body. Got home really late? No worries. Life can get busy. But yeah. So I want a little cylinder here. So this is going to be, say like 5. So this is going to be one of these little gizmos. So I'm seeing 2 defining features of it, which is this side. Oh. And then this comes in like that. And then this should probably a little bit more like that. Oh wait, we need this. There we go. Mark seam, mark sharp, and then here we just mark a seam. Okay, so this is going to be our gizmo dash body. Taught me how to use print in and input in the course, well as variables, which are used to store data. Okay, yeah. Nice, that's a good start. Oh wait, hang on. How do I want these to be? Okay, I think I want them to be like this. I'll just see how this looks once I bring it into the thing. Oh, wait, hang on. There we go. I think this will kind of look bad, but that's okay. Yeah, this will just be our little scale check transformer. I don't think this is actually a transformer, but I have no idea what it is. What if I call this a transformer compose? Just have a little... Actually, let's do a circle, and this is going to be Gizmos compose. There we are. Yeah, let's just do a scale check first. Transformer. Okay, there we go. And also we need to put this there. There we go. Okay, number equals input that. Okay. 3 more of the same. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's no problem getting stuck. I feel like coding is hardest to learn at the start. Because, yeah, I think as you learn more, you build up more and more knowledge. And it gets easier to use that knowledge to, like, I don't know, learn more. But also, I'm going to slightly lower the volume there. Okay. So, yeah, scale check. I'll have to see how this looks. Especially since I don't know how many of these I want. Probably like 2 of them or something. I'll do that. Wait, wasn't I supposed to do... Oh yeah, I was supposed to get a little transformer here. Okay. So yeah. And then I'll figure out like what other gizmos I want on this. And probably put some wires on it. Alright, did I re-import the world properly? Because I don't think the world's actually going to have this. Oh well. Alright. Check how this looks. Doesn't look like anything because I did not design it properly. Yeah, basically, need to re-import the world. But yeah, the scale feels about right to me, and then I can just make this box look a little bit better. Okay. Why am I missing the fence material? Because, like, this should be this. Like, this should look like this still. Unless I... Hang on. Substation... Okay, so that's correct. World... Did I have lunch? I had an apple. I'll have a... Since I started early, I guess I'll have a late lunch. But okay, let's see. Why is the substation not looking correct? Because it's named collection, even though... Oh, because I forgot to rename it here. No, not here. What the heck am I doing? World. Okay, this needs to be named substation... Substation. And also there, and then I need to do, like, all the rigmarole of, like, clicking the correct collection to make sure everything works. Take your time, Godot. You know, I think it would make more sense to have the door for this place be here rather than here, because this door... Yeah, I feel like I could just have the substation have the door there. Well, I don't know. Is this more interesting? No, I don't think it is, honestly. I think I'd rather have, like, fewer doors, like, here. Okay, so what is this thing? Gonna delete that as well. So yeah, basically, pretty soon, I'm gonna delete these. In fact, I'll probably... Ooh, do I want to do... No, I don't want to do that today. Yeah, let's not delete any... Let's not go too crazy with deleting stuff yet. But okay. So, what are their next gizmos to model? Because what the heck else do we have? Like... Is this... What kind of... What website is this? These, like, storage.google API things seem to be, like, weird AI-generated websites, but I don't know if that's true. Like, what the hell is peaksubstation.com? What the hell is guideofgreece.com? Why does this have types of electrical substation at William, you know, Guterres' blog? Okay, it's actually a breaker. Okay, I'm actually going to rename that then properly. So yeah, let's call this a breaker. Breaker. Substation. And then we go here, and we go to our transformer. So we're going to actually delete these two. Godot is crumbling and dying. Yep. Alt-tabbing to Godot is a little bit too much. See you soon. But okay, so this... electricaldawn.com.blogspot.com. Does this even, like, direct anything? Do these links even work? I don't think these are even buttons. Yeah, it's an ad. I don't think... Yeah, this isn't even a link. What the hell is this site? Okay. Electrical station. So surely electricalvolt.com is not a, it looks to be a sort of AI generated whatever it is. They all have this same format with like the table of contents and like a duplicate table of contents as well. That's fun. And there's probably a, like at the bottom, there's probably like conclusion. But okay. Okay, so I'm seeing there's actually two separate things. There's the lightning arrestor and the circuit breaker. So, oh, okay. I don't understand how this, like, what the hell did they do to that photo? Yeah, I don't understand anything. And look at this one. It's AI generated. You can tell because everything's labeled circuit breakers. This is so sad. Can't even learn about a dang substation. Like, is this a lightning arrestor or is it a circuit breaker? If this image were more than 5 pixels wide, and look at this. Yeah, they got like 12 pixels. This is our best bet at learning how to use, or learning how to design a substation. Okay, so lightning arrestors are these things that go above the cage. That makes sense. You'd want a cage here. Okay, and then these are the circuit breakers. Okay, and then we have a step-down transformer. And I think a lot of these things actually have... Okay. So let's look up a step-down transformer, or lightning arrestor. Okay. So it's this thing specifically, and then there's like an array of wiring above, I believe. Another like 4 pixel wide image. Man, society does not want you learning how a substation works. But okay, I think... Yeah, I just don't understand how it connects to the rest of this. So I'm gonna just make a dang rig up here. Little cage of some sort. Okay, so mesh. Let's do cube. I'm gonna call this a lightning. Let's just call it an arrestor. Collision. And then generate skin. So let's do, I think 4, so like 8 meters. Only faces, there we are. Only edges and faces, there we go. So yeah, I think that's probably perfectly fine. Well, let's double check. What would I want here as well? Maybe actually get this loop here. How did it get these vertices? Because I pressed Alt. So for some reason holding Alt and right-clicking gets all of the vertices here. Interesting. I guess I'm fine with that. But okay, yeah, let's have it do that, and then I'm gonna have... something like this. Yeah, let's have this be arrestor. Okay, decor, substation. Okay. Where'd they go? Where'd my breakers go? Oh, right. These need to change. I need to change the link here. So basically, because I removed the breaker. So basically, go through these two. Where's our instancing? It should be somewhere in here. Collection. Instancing. Do we no longer have the ability to instance the collection or change the instance here? I guess we don't. Just delete them. Okay, and then I'm gonna link the, whatever else I'm linking. This thing. This thing feels too small. Oh wait, also, did I even check the size of these relative to, like, what I wanted? So yeah, first of all, this doesn't feel quite right. Well, no. Okay, I see. This building is is the size that I want. So that means the arrestor should be... I'm gonna say... Can I, like... I was about to have a stroke there. Okay, apply that scale. Good. There we go. Okay, so this feels fine. So yeah, basically we have a substation, then we'd have a step-down transformer, and then we'd have a distribution bus with our switches. And I guess I'm fine with the control house being over here. So this is our control house, which would assumably have something in it at some point. And I think maybe we just have two of these on opposite sides. Oh, and then also substation, arrestor, substation, arrestor. Arrestor, I barely know her. How did I... Hang on, where did I just put those? Oh, here. Not the right place. Okay. And I think we can probably get away with using a... This might be controversial. I think we can get away with using a step-down transformer and a circuit breaker is the same thing. So if we did substation step down transformer, and also I'm going to look up oil circuit breaker. Okay, I see. So basically, I could design mine like this, where it's very obviously like, this is the oil that the circuit breaker is in. And then a substation step-down transformer would look like this. Okay, and it has similar things except for... Okay, yeah. It has the similar things on top. You know, I think I'd prefer to have, you know, our little breaker have the cylindrical tubes. So I'm going to do that. Just do a, let's just do a cylinder here. And I'm trying to think. So is it all... Okay, so for these ones, it seems like we can either do one cylinder for each pair of wires, or one cylinder with all 3 pairs of wires. I think I'd do the one cylinder for all the wires. Okay. And also, let's make this smooth. About to sneeze. Alright. Good to go. Oh, yeah. Okay. And this gives us some more interesting shapes, so now my transformer can just be a cube with the same shape as this thing. Or with the, you know... I could have just saved the old breaker as the transformer now. Which actually means my old transformer was actually just completely correct. But okay. Actually, move these so that they're sticking into the tank a little bit more. Okay. Basically good. So yeah, there's our cool circuit breaker. Maybe I'll put a little junction box. Yeah, that makes sense. We might as well put some stuff that would make this look good. Okay, cube, junction box, S-body. Because at some point I can design this to be interesting. Okay, and then actually we also need a little platform that this will sit on. Call that little platform. There we are. Okay, that looks like a dang breaker. Go back to here. Actually, let's keep that the same way that it was. Because I don't know if these would have, like, one-way wires. You know, I don't know if a circuit breaker is sensitive to the direction of the current. Well, it's AC... Wait, no. Do they use AC current on mains power? Or, not mains power. The high voltage power that goes into the station. I think they do, because I think the reason we use AC current is because it's better over long distances. But okay. So yeah, we got our thing, and then we would do our step-down transformer. So yeah, let's just get that back. Go to breaker, save this as transformer. Thank you, Blender, for, like, fighting me every step of the way. Okay. And the transformer, I'm gonna make it like this one. No. More like this. Yeah, we'll probably have like 3 things and then 3 littler things. Yeah, because we got our high voltage bushings, then our low voltage bushings. And it looks like, where are there 5 of them there? Neutral bushing, okay. And then the mystery bushing for fun, basically. Okay, that makes sense to me. Yeah, we got our big bushings, little bushings, mystery bushings for fun. We kind of just let those do whatever they do. Okay. That'll have a cube. Transformer, S-body. That means we don't need that. And I guess I'll make this the same design as that. Actually, let's do SY0 Alt S. So yeah, basically get our things here. And then we just shrink these down. Oh wait, and we should do them uniformly, because otherwise the scaling gets weird. But okay, there we are. So that's basically good enough for a transformer for me. Okay. Oh wait, no. We should not apply transforms, because now we go back to the substation, we go to the transformer here. Also, I should have gotten those bushings textured first, because I'll have to do that again, but I don't care. I can just apply them. Okay. Link our transformers. They're more than meets the eye, because they have very high voltage. I don't know why you'd have 2 of these. Like, would you have 2 of these? Maybe just for redundancy? And yeah, eventually I'll also put some, like, lightning stuff on this. But okay, and then we have the substation distribution bus. And this seems like a gizmo gadget of some sort of massive array of gizmos and gadgets. Incomprehensible to the average man. Yeah, because we can see here the high voltage. Disconnector, blah, blah, blah. Okay. . So yeah, because we go from high voltage to low voltage, we got a little thing here which does something. Is this the lightning arrestor? What the hell is this? I don't know what it is. Ah, well. Yeah, because we can see now this confusing array of things, which does something. I feel like I want this to be over here, and then what I want for this is to just move this wall. Like there, and then like that. And then I can also even, dare I say, move that a little bit. Okay. So yeah, now we have our cool control room. And because we don't actually have power lines here, I don't know where the high voltage is going to actually come from. Okay, so I'm gonna make these little boxes, and I'm gonna just make a confusing array of. I think that's gonna be what it is. And I'm gonna call this like a distributor. Dissolve this face. Dissolve these vertices. There we go. That'll be a thing. And then we'll have a little platform, as we should have with all of these. Cube there. Oh wait, hang on. There we go. Ta-da. Okay, this will be whatever I call it, distributor. Okay. And then our next step will be, I think I might just make a common set of textures in like an atlas, and then just put all the UVs in that, rather than trying to do anything smart and clever. But okay, let's also get a metal texture on this. And eventually I'll even have, oh yeah, I should probably go to my solidify, go back to the arrestor. We need to decimate this, because look at that shape. Maybe planar? Yeah, that feels good. And then also a triangulate modifier. Okay. So that way it's a bit more reasonable. And hopefully these super long, thin triangles don't break anything. Alright, also, I'm thinking, should this be a smooth thing? What's the worst that would happen if I did smooth shading here? Looks like it's fine, probably. Fine-ish. Yeah, basically good enough. Okay. Okay, and then I want little power rigs here. Okay. So yeah, we'll just call these mystery boxes either voltage regulators or these switch gears or cutout switches. I don't know any of that. And then these will do something. Oh wait, also, do these need... Oh, they do need the little things on top. Hang on. Go back to the distributor. Get our dibbly-dobblies. Wait, no. Go back to here. I want to link to... go to our breaker. Oh wait, but I can't... we'll just append it. For now. Basically, we need our... What the hell am I doing? Breaker. Power gizmo. Okay. So this is actually called a bushing. And its job is to get electricity to a thing in presumably a way that doesn't electrocute us. Okay, so this has these things on both sides. And then I don't know how many of these we need. Probably like 3. Like 3 for each side, because it looks like the way that it goes is one transformer leads directly into one of these, and then we have sort of like a, I don't know, some sort of multiplexing thing here. And then these wires would basically go into those things, and then also, let's get a little power thing here. Oh, it's like power line dash collision. And this also needs actually a... something like this. Okay. So let's just do... this. There we go. Oh wait, we should make these bush... Well, I can just texture them. Yeah, that'll be fine. Okay. Go to our substation. So yeah, the last step will be the wiring. Actually, eventually what I might do is make each of these a child of one of these, so it's like... Actually, I can do that, like, I don't have to do both of these. I'm just going to duplicate this thing when the time comes. Okay. So then, distributor... Okay, we should probably make this a bit smaller. What if I just make these two smaller? Scale those. Because I like the size of these. What if we did SC0, Alt S? Oh wait, but those all need to be smaller. Okay. Let's do a little bit smaller. Oh wait. .2, that's what I want. Okay. So now we go back to the substation. There, we got that. And then I need to get the distributor and power line as scenes. Oh, wait, no, we have the distributor. And I need the power line. Alright, but I need to have this whole thing here as an empty, let's call it a single arrow. This is going to be side 1. Because I can't have scenes as children of other scenes, I forgot. There we are. So yeah, what I'm thinking is... I have no idea if this makes sense. And also, I'm wondering if I should have the lightning protector above this. But I'll ignore that. And then we can see this leads into power lines that do something. Okay. Link power lines. It looks like these need to be bigger. Okay. Probably too big. Actually, let's just check what size would I actually want it to be. 0.8. Okay. So this clearly needs to be that way, so that way we can actually like hit the thing, and then we need to get it somehow. I don't actually know how the wires connect these physically, but Look at one of these. Yeah, I don't got the faintest idea how the wires actually would connect to a substation, distribution, whatever. Eh. What if I just did like this? In fact, hang on. Go back down to the power line, make this smaller because we don't need it to be that big. So yeah, basically wires into here, then into here. Okay. See, I have no idea how this actually connects to itself. And that'll be fine. I'll save it for the electrical analysts. And then I think what I want is then some way to have the mains electricity connect to this thing. Or no, high voltage electricity to go to these things. What if I did... Oh, wait. There we are. Does that make sense? Like, it goes to here, and then it goes to these two, and then something, something? Yeah, something, something wires connect to things. Yeah, I'll say that's fine. Okay, children... And this thing... And I do think now I actually should have moved this control center up here. Do I want to move the control center for this thing? Because basically, what I need is a hole for this platform there. But I'd kind of prefer to have both of these components to be positioned, like, over here. So that way, like, you know... electrical wires would come to here, they would not go over the building, which seems to be like a dangerous idea. And then what we would do is we would have this there. Interesting. Oh, because this is a thing that I set up wrong. Yeah, I set it up wrong as a joke, I guess. Okay. Solidify that by like 1.5 meters. That seems almost right. I think 2 would be better though. Okay. So yeah, we'll just have the door swap around. Yeah, good enough. And that means we don't need that. Okay, that feels electrical substation adjacent. And yeah, then we figure out how to connect the wires here. And should... Oh, wait, hang on. Before we do that, I'm gonna delete this hierarchy again. Because what I'll do is I'll add the wires separately. Once I have the whole system worked out in my brain. Because yeah, I think what we would do is we'd have these wires here and then they'd go down. Oh, I see. The lightning arresters were on top of... Okay. Ah, well. Let's go to the arrestor. Let's actually add some little things. Okay. And then also here. Oh. What just happened? Why did I... Okay. What the hell is this thing then? Wait, what the fuck did I do? I did something insane. Okay, just collapse these by distance. Okay, so... There we go, okay. And then we mark one of these as a root. There we are. So now what I can do is I can get this and I can make this smooth. Thank you, Godot, for giving me options that I can't actually use and that are meaningless. Probably basically good. Okay, empty circle. And this will be a classic arresters compose. Okay. Admittedly, probably more detail than it needs, I assume. But oh well. Okay, so I think that is good enough. I don't know where the wires will come from there, but I think what it's going to be is wires will connect to these, connect between these in some way that seems vaguely sensible, and then it'll just be... All the wiring is actually underground, so who knows where it, you know, how it connects there. But we'll do that in that way. And that means that now we can have, I guess probably paths. Yeah, I'll do paths, and these will be just like wire curve. Actually, I'll call these like no imp. So that means that these wires will be deleted. I wish it didn't like... I don't care. I was gonna complain about the fact that it like by default creates the paths like just not straight, but I can just straighten them. I wish I could figure out a place to put this wire or this headphone cable without it rubbing against my arm the entire time I'm developing. But all right. Oh wait, no. These go, like, up. Yeah, they're, like, rigid, aren't they? And then we need something in between them to get our, Yeah, you can see that, because they're rigid. And they go up, and then they go through. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll say that's fine. Subdivide that, because we're going to do... I want it to look a little bit more interesting with, like, this, basically. And then we can have even unique meshes, maybe, if I feel like it. Can I have... Oh, I can have duplicate curves on one curve. That'd be nice. Okay. Yeah, so we don't even need to have this be, like, multiple meshes. Okay, so what I'm going to do is then mesh plane. Get this as a array modifier. Fit curve. So does it work with both of these? Because then if we did deform along the curve. Oh, but that doesn't do discontinuity. Okay. Interesting. And this is how I'll do that. And then also like that. And also when we merge there. And this way we have that looking kind of reasonable. Actually, we should probably just make this a little bit like that. There we go. So yeah, now we have wires that can work. This will be just wire. So I think now what I can do is just like copy this. And we can hope that I can make it work for each of these. Okay, good. So I can just shift D to duplicate, and it works for all of these. But okay, now we can see it kind of making sense. Also, now, not eating anything is probably going to come back to bite me since I'm now hungry. All right, hang on. Maybe I should add like 1 by default, but oh well. In fact, could I add a constant length here? So like I would prefer like fit curve plus 1. So that way, no matter what, there's at least enough space for the curve. But oh well. Yeah, this is 100% overkill for the game's visuals. Well, I think everything's kind of overkill for the game's visuals. That's just kind of how it's been designed. And then we don't have any connections here, but we do have connections from this to the distributor. And then the distributor would do something else. And then we'd have relatively straight lines from each of the grids to the other things, and it would do something that surely would make sense to somebody. Or maybe it makes sense that it doesn't make sense. You know, it's one of those things where, like, a distributor is unique per power station or something. So, like, I have no idea how this fucking thing works. Basically, I'm imagining an actual electrician looking at this and nitpicking it. Which is a completely unnecessary detail, but I don't know. I guess video games are just in general an unnecessary thing, so I'd rather, like, embrace the frivolity and learn something while I do. Get that. Yeah, about there. That looks good. Okay. That's good. Okay. And that's good. And actually, let's get this a little bit more... Yeah, a little bit more character to it, since we have it already here. And then I think the final one that'll not be just a straight line will be this, and then there'll be some sort of confusing network of things here. I think these should be like that. Though actually, you don't notice it, but I do. The fact that these are now all facing the same direction. Okay. So yeah, straight lines, straight wires across these, figuring out how to make that do anything meaningful or make sense at all. And then yeah, I think here we just connect this to the traditional, or the power line the way that we have. And then we do straight wires for the rest of the power line grid. And I wonder if there's a way to, like, make it so that these are all merged into one mesh, because it's going to be confusing for them. But okay. Let's call it like that. Yeah, good enough. Okay. And then here... Okay. And yeah, then just have some straight wires. So that'll be actually duplicating this little component without that and without that. Okay, there we are. What if I actually had this there, forward into 3D cursor? So this way now what I can do... Hang on. I can scale... Oh, wait, no. There we go. Look at that. And then, yeah, I'll figure out how to make this make sense. So how would these be... So if this right wire is this right wire, then that means that this is this middle wire. Alright, actually, I just realized I could have Alt-D duplicated all of these. Ah, well. Yeah, so this makes no sense, really. I have no idea how these, like, do anything. Oh, and also I'm seeing... These don't even attach to the wires. Okay. And these will be basically all black. Hmm. Oh, this one is just its size. Well, I'm dumb. You know, just delete both of these. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, so I have no idea what the hell I'm doing here. Let's just move all these, put them there, basically. Okay. Perfect. And then let's just have a single thing here. It's just going to be like a empty sphere wires. Compose, maybe? That'll just have all of these. Okay. Okay, that feels fair. Wow, only an hour. Okay. That wasn't bad then. Because now the real thing is going to be getting, let's see. Do we have gravel? No. Dirt. Yeah, so let's first of all get this thing working. So I'm going to do siding. Let's make a unique thing here. Concrete. I'm actually starving to death. But hang on. I need to turn off my heater. I don't understand my body. It's like I was cold, so I turned on the heater. And then by the time the heater was active, I was like so warm that it's like unpleasant. Okay, let's double check the scale of this in the game. See how it feels, if it feels like a vaguely resembling electrical something. Because the wiring is nonsensical for these things here. So yeah, I'll do some sort of like mostly black double-sided stuff and it'll be like, I don't know, it fucking does whatever it does. Yeah, I like the wiring there. I think the, yeah, the door will need to be moved to someplace. And by someplace, I mean right there instead of here. Yeah, that'll be tricky. I'm also stuck now. But okay, I'm gonna get a snack. Because my stomach is growling in an annoying way. Okay, I'm back. So first thing to do, let's go to our wires. Let's get material here. Oh wait, no. Oh wait, no, okay, good. That does do what I want. Okay. So let's do a metal DS. Why is that in here? This should just be, I think, there. But okay, good. That gives us a start on the wiring. And admittedly, it is kind of obvious that the wires are set up like this, which I probably should have made it just 3, like just a triangle. Because it's not like it saves much rendering time to have 1 face instead of, or 3 faces instead of 2. But okay. Yeah, we need a few textures. We need gravel, and then I need, I think, just a generic, like, atlas. Wait, what the heck am I looking for? This. Okay. Let's get our concrete. What the fuck is it doing? Okay. It took me like 4 tries to get that, but that's not bad. I suspect the world just doesn't work now. That'll be a concern. Because, yeah, that's the second time now it crashed when I switched to world. So let's just close all tabs. And then let's go to world again. Man, I can't believe it's already Thursday. I've done nothing this week. Okay, this time... Okay, this time it did work. Good. So yeah, we'll need to reposition that door. So yeah, let's get... make the substation vaguely look good from a distance. So we'll need the gravel... texture, atlas, reposition, door... So that'll be like the door itself. I think it'll just be make the door a regular door. So yeah, instead of having it be this gigantic panel on the bottom, it'll just be a regular door that opens up. Okay. So I think we got the arrestor, breaker, distributor, power line, transformer. All of these have platforms. And those will just be concrete. Okay. Gravel time. So yeah, what substation is complete without gravel? I'll do even probably a 64 by 64 texture, a whopping 64 by 64. Now, what if I just did 32 by 32? I don't care that much. But I will make it so that this does not have the back face? Because I just want the rim. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. Wait, I'm curious here. So, oh, okay, I see. Okay, that is exactly what I want. I think. Yeah. And no, I'm gonna go 32 by 32. So yeah, some kind of grayish texture. Let's do a grayish blue. And then we're gonna have light blue here. More of a... Yeah, that's fine. Because I'm imagining the crushed, like, rock gravel that I saw at substations in the past. I've seen, like, 4 substations, probably, up close. No, I've probably seen, like, 1 up close and then just, like, driven past, you know, however many I've driven past in my entire life. A lot of them. But okay. Does this feel like gravel? Kind of. Then what I'm gonna do is just filter... Oh, no. Random noise. Multiply. And then... do... like that. And then I think I actually want this here. Okay. I'm going to make it so that basically the gray, it's less, you know, dark gray with light splotches and more light gray with dark gray bands. And then I can add like another layer of gray, I think, on top of this. Actually, I don't really like that there. I think what I'd prefer is probably just more random colors. Or, no, more deliberately chosen colors, I'd say. Maybe something like this. No, that's literally the exact same color. Do I want something in between them or something even brighter, like this? I think I want this. Let's see, how's this faring? It'll be pretty repetitive. But I think the question is, do I care very much? Or will this be somebody else's problem to deal with? Drag up this line a little bit. Okay, does this resemble gravel at all? I could buy it. Yeah, okay, this will be gravel. Project, environment textures. Gravel 1. Okay. So that means gravel. Let's do like a 0.5. Yeah, that feels like a thing. Okay. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have probably just completely cut out this whole section here. And then just have like a floor instead. Though actually I don't even need that because I'm just going to do raise up. Wait, no. Actually, center this. What the heck do I want this? I know what I want. There we go. And then I can do a plane here. Okay, solidify this. Okay, this will now be our floor collision. There we go. There we are, and then we got that there. Okay. Though actually, I think might be controversial. I think the stairs should not lead from... I think there should be a little bit of like a gap there. So that way now, we can have like stairs here that go down. And then this will be our doorway. Let's actually check this. So... what's the height of this door? This should be like 3, maybe. And then this should just be lower. There we are. In fact, I might even still like want to move this to be like here. So that way it's yet less annoying. Okay. Okay, and this is going to be concrete. Okay, double check this again. Did I ever actually go into the substation? I don't think I've ever been in here. I think the game has crashed, like, instead, and I got distracted by that. Okay. Oh no, okay. I did walk around in here a little bit. Yeah, an electrical buzz would be nice as well. But okay, I think this will be basically good enough, except for the fact that I'll need to probably just remove that tree and then have some electrical wires up there and then send those out. How do I want to, like, position those? Yeah, I'll have to figure out where the, yeah, who knows what any of this means. Okay, where's the power line? Why does this not have concrete? Is it because the collections here are not named properly? Yes. As is typical. So, collection, substation, power line. Okay. Yeah, let's get a new thing here. I'm going to do, I think just 256 by 256 will be fine. Okay. So let's also go to UVs and just get our standard noise. There we are. So I'm thinking several different kinds of material here. And by several, I mean like a few. First of all, our like whatever the heck this is going to be. Hang on, that's not what I want. A slightly lighter gray here. So this is going to be our there we go. This is going to be like the bushings, basically. And then, oh wait, hang on. What if we got a lighter metal here? I think that'd be fine. And actually put a similar thing up here. Okay. Bushing. And then I think actually I want something like that maybe, or darker gray, basically. So that way we have heightened contrast. And we can also double use this as like a vent of some sort. But okay, so environment decor, substation. So substation Atlas 1, let's call it that. And then I'm thinking, what if we had a warning sign? So I'm going to have like a light green, I think, for a color here. Or yeah, some kind of olive drab almost. About there. And that'll be another healthy portion of this. And also, actually, while I'm thinking about it, I forgot. I wanted to have basically a few lines like this, so that way we can use this as like vents as well. There we go. And then probably some sort of like, we did that, and then have this, and then do that. Wrong texture. Oh, I see. Okay. It was holding Alt, because Alt is for some reason on this keyboard a fucking toggle. And by a toggle, I mean it just doesn't work. So it's still not even... I guess the deeper issue is that it's still not actually like, What am I trying to say? I don't know what I'm trying to say. Oh yeah. It doesn't seem to be based on the hardware. It does seem to be just a, like, driver issue, which is annoying. But okay, there we go. That gives a bit more variety and texture to that. And then here we can have this do something or other. I'll figure that out soon. I guess probably just having some grunge is fine. Maybe some random lines. That'd be fun. We could have just like... You know, just put some like detail on this thing that doesn't exist. And then what I'm thinking is have a warning sign right in here. So this is going to be like warning sign. Let's do a high voltage warning sign. Okay, that feels about right. Welcome back. I'm doing the substation textures now. Yeah, let's have it be right here. How much space do I need here? Actually, what if I put this right there? Okay, good. Does this look like... Okay. Okay. Actually, I want... Ooh, it's a little bit too... Okay, so I need one more pixel. But that just feels too... thick. And also, this feels a bit too baby yellow, not warning yellow. Yeah, what is wrong with my Alt key? I'm gonna die. Okay, so let's get our V here to be the correct size, so that way I know how big it's supposed to be. Okay. Okay, that feels good enough, except for I don't like this color of yellow. So let's change that to, I think, a deeper, more orange yellow like that. No, it needs to be a bit brighter. And then we should also have some black bands at the top and bottom, I think. And also these black bands should be slightly not black, like that color. So that way a little bit of grunge can stick through. And also, how big should this be? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1 pixel on this side needs to be removed. Okay, that seems good. And then... yeah, just slightly brighter. Okay. Nice. Okay, actually, how much more stuff do I need here? I kind of want, maybe a different color as well. So we got the olive drab, which I think is going to be for something or other. You know, like the transformer or something. Okay, and then we need a lighter color for the side of the tanks, I think. And then we can use this medium gray for something else. And actually, we can kind of just slap this high voltage sign on here as well. Okay, let's just copy that, paste it. Okay, so is there anything else that I'd want here that I have any strong opinions about? Not really. I guess what I would do is I would add a bit of... trying to think how I want this to look. I think what I'd do is we just go to the transformer and we just add another thing here, which would be this, and this will be like a vent S body. And then basically, there we go. Actually, there we go. And also, you know what? There we are. Okay, that feels good. And now let's try getting these textures. So material preview. Okay. So yeah, if I need anything more, wait, let's get that here. So this will be environment, decor, substation. There we go. Wait. Wait, no, it was PNG. I just like, or it was a JPEG. I just renamed it. Okay. Well, okay. Now what I can do is I can start actually getting that in here. There we go. So, there we go. Is that fine? Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Then the rest of these will go here. Like that. Let's see how that looks. That looks fine. We'll have that material as well. This is going to be... I guess this will just be substation. Also, I should have got my earbuds, because my headphones are, like, moist. I guess just from, like, taking a shower a couple hours ago, there's still moisture, like, in my ears seeping out. But okay, mark a seam here, and remove this bottom face. Okay. Wait, actually, this... Actually, these should be scaled up as they were. Okay. There we go. That's fine. Let's have this one go this way, so that way there's a bit more... Yeah, that feels fine. And yeah, we'll just have severely overlapping UVs for this one. Yeah, fine enough for me. Well, I'm not a fan of how these two UVs overlap. Wait, what am I looking at here? Oh, I see. I do know what I'm looking at here. Two faces that are overlapping. Yeah, let's at least, like, line these up. So that way it seems 100% intentional. Very good. Perfect. Okay, and then these as well need the same thing. Oh, wait, no. They should just use substation. Okay. Okay, so Brother Park game. Yeah, this is for... Found a camera. So you'll be running around. Which I think is the one with the park. Oh, it's convenient of Twitch to not show the timestamps now. Very useful. Okay. Okay, that feels good enough, except for the fact that I'd like a little bit more. There we go. And then this part should be this lighter metal, I think. Yeah, that looks good. And then these parts should be who knows what. I guess we can just... you know what? We can just kind of leave them here, to be honest. Basically the same material. Yeah, good enough. And the arresters will have a very similar material. Okay, so these will also be substation. Okay, can we... What happens if we unwrap this? Oh, I know what I need to do. Mark seams. And then... mark a seam. There we are. Oh, wait, no. Okay. This is basically what a arrestor looks like. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, and then we need, hopefully these have the same material. No, okay. These are not the same objects. Okay. There we go. Okay, next thing, so power line. Another image texture, which I've already forgotten. There we go. Oh wait, I did the wrong thing. Well, that's okay. This one will be pretty easy, because what I'm going to do is basically just have this part be little, what are they called? Bushings? Brushes? So yeah, basically... Let's actually just get these three components right now. Okay. SX0. Huh? What is going on here? How did this... It just stopped working. Okay, whatever. Oh, it's not that it... Okay. Oh, wait, hang on. I see. It was because I was actually in a different language. Okay. Scale these all so that they fit where I want them to be. Okay, yeah. So you can see how they will fit together. In fact, we should probably have these all collaborate like that. Which one is this one? Okay. And also... There we go. And then these little guys right here. Yeah, let's just say like that. Okay, and then the rest of this crap, who cares? Let's do like that basically. Okay. Unwrap that by angle, and then that just goes into here. Yeah, good enough. And then, last but not least... Oh, wait, no. There we are. Perfect. Okay, the distributor... Right, we have only two more things. Distributor and breaker. So let's go to UV editor. And yeah, you know what? It'll just be easier to do this. Yeah, basically good. Perfect there. And you know what? I should probably make this a... or whatever I'm going to make it. A PNG, or maybe just get a higher quality JPEG, because look at how fucking bad it looks. Hang on. If I Shift-Control-E save this again... Can I do... So that's the best quality we got? Okay, and I'll eventually put that on all this stuff. Let's also double check... Oh wait, hang on. Did that... Okay, that fixed it. And I'm realizing we don't even need the interior of these, but oh well. I think for this, I just mark seams on everything, and then... Oh wait, what is this? Okay. So yeah, I'm thinking put all this part down here. Like that. And then this part here. Do we want green or do we want a different metal color? I think I want the green. Because the circuit breaker will be the other color. Okay. There we go. Good enough. Record time for that. Okay, and then last and not least, the breaker. Image texture, there we are. And as always, yeah, scale all these uniformly so that way I have a good idea of what they'll look like. Yeah, I probably should have added a little bit of extra space there. Oh well. Okay. And then we can see some strange issue with this. What is that from? And actually, we don't need this bottom face here, so just delete that face. And then we also need this to have that substation thing, and that'll be... Or no, we don't even need that face either. Oh, wait, no. What if I just move this a little bit further back? Like that. No, actually... Yeah, we do kind of need this face, but we don't need it that much. Okay, so I kind of like where this is. And then I'm just going to move both of these to just here, probably. Actually, put those like that. Maybe this one actually should be here. Like that. There we are. And then this one. Who invited you? I guess maybe like that. And then, yeah, we don't need that there. We can put that there or something. Okay. And then this one's going to just be that green. Okay, and here... Yeah, I have no idea how this has possibly been... Like, there's such a... Something weird with the textures here. I don't know what it is. Is there like an extra face here? Oh, there is. Why is that the case? Is there a modifier? Oh, there is. Oh, okay. That makes sense now. Okay, so basically, we need to get now this thing to be different than what it is. Hmm. Do we want like that? That looks terrible. Too soon. But okay, so whom is this? Do we want something other than the light gray or this then? Yeah, are we fine with this ultra crusty low texture for this thing? Because I think what I want then is for the distributor to have, so this top part probably to be something, or the other color. Yeah, basically move these down here. Like that. Oh, interesting. Oh, I see. That makes sense, actually. I just had these, like, these are not looped together or linked together at all. Okay. I think what I should do is, for detail here, get this line, and I want this. So that way we get a little bit more visual interest in here. Okay, is this, that's 1 pixel too high. I can smell it. I can see it. Oh wait, no, it's not. Okay, never mind. And then I want these. There we go. So now if we go to here, get this. We get a little bit more detail. Look at that. We got some greebles. It's like a thing that exists. Okay, so I think that means that now I can just get all of these objects, create that material. So, standard UV. Okay. Substation. Okay. Save that as environment, decor, substation. There we go. The platform is fine. This, though... There we are. Look at that mad science. Okay, transformer, vent, Vento 1, and Vento 2. Oh, and then we need our gizmos. What are they, brushes? Is that what they're technically called? Okay, that. That. And then gizmos. Beautiful. Okay. So now we have the substation mostly done. And look at that. Barely less than 2 hours. How long did I say that that substation was going to take? I thought it was going to take a whole day. Yeah, I think this is probably good enough for the time being. I don't really need this. Oh yeah, we do need to move this though. I think what I can do for now is go back to the world. So yeah, and actually here as well. Let's be patient, because I think alt-tabbing while it's doing things is what kills it. Okay. So yeah, I need to figure out where this door is. Lab door should probably be under controls. Yeah, lab entry. So yeah, delete that one. Well, actually, we can have this, but we're going to move it here. Then we're going to have this door not have those. Or reset, yeah. Yeah, what I'm going to do actually, I ate, but now I need to use the bathroom. Be back soon. Okay, back now. Also, my music died. But okay. That should eventually start. It's taking its sweet time. But okay, next step is to remove the door. Oh yeah, is the concrete? I guess the concrete is there. It's just it looks bright here. Okay, so now we're just going to delete these doors for now. I don't actually need that there. Why is it running at like 2 FPS? Hang on, what's wrong here? Who knows? Okay. So I think I'm just going to move this over here for now. And just kind of slap it in here. Basically good. This is what doors look like. Okay. Yeah, this... Right, huh? I don't get it. Okay, well... That should be fine. What the fuck is going on here? What am I looking at? Oh, I see. Okay. And then come back into here, delete this. Collapse that. Because now we got a real challenge, which is to figure out how to get the door here. Which I think we do in exactly the same way. Okay, and then cut, I think, right there. Perfect. Okay, so now we can move these around. Okay. Thankfully, nothing important is in this tunnel yet, so I can just, like, move this around. Actually, this makes this tunnel straight. Or, like, more straight than it was. Yeah, because we can just have this go this way, and then like that. Which honestly does make it kind of more boring, but I mean, I guess I can ignore that as an issue. Okay, and then this thing here... Is that a child of this? No. Who the hell owns you? Yeah, for now I'll just put this here. What if I make this look good instead of like really bad? Well, yeah, holy shit. Look at how, like, I've utterly mangled this place. This is not going to be in the trailer. How does it go so down so fast? Oh, wait, no. That won't work. You know what if I just delete these for now and ignore all of this because it's not going to be seen? And then what I can do is I can change that path. Take your time, Godot. In fact, we should probably get something else so that way that will not happen again. Okay. So now I can go to my placer or something like that. Hide that. So I think in here, my path... Dr. Secret Passage, okay. So yeah, basically move this now to like there, and I think we just delete these for the time being. And we'll have like what the fuck? That was like a Peter Griffin, like, what the fuck? Why is there an extra node here, Lois? Why can't I press F to focus on the thing that I'm clicking on, Lois? It knows where it is, Lois. But I just can't focus on it, which is annoying. Yeah, I press F because that's the thing that I do constantly, because it's an extremely useful button. That's one of the worst things about, like, when UI doesn't quite work, is, like, when you've put it in your brain as, like, part of your workflow, and then doing it, like, fucks you up now. But okay, let's see if I can get this working. So yeah, for now, he'll just kind of do that. And come out here. And then let's say he comes out to like here. Yeah, he likes the electrical hum for some reason. But okay. Good enough for me. Awesome. Thank you, Godot. I really like that Godot is now just like consistently crashing anytime I save on any of my projects. And I like that it waited until I spent like 5 minutes. Oh god. What am I gonna do about this crashing? Because this is like not tolerable. Yep, it fucked up the whole thing. I have to do all of it again. Okay, save now. Did it work? I think what I need to do is I need to save the curve separately. So this will be, I don't know, interactable. So yeah, now what I'm going to do is instead of editing that ever, and also I have to do this. Whatever, just make a little thing here like that. Yeah, I don't really need to do this though. All right, hang on. Your core. Rename this. Take your time, kiddo. Did it, like, fail? No, it's just taking, like, 20 minutes. Okay. But okay, now at least I can save this. And now if it crashes when I do the other thing, it'll be fine. So yeah, I think that might also be part of what I need to do for this scene, is just, like, take all of my local resources and make them not local to the scene. But okay. Let's just have you... So you're going to stand like right there, basically. I love that I can't press F to focus. It keeps my brain sharp because I have to not rely on my muscle memory that is like telling me that it's, boy, it sure is annoying to have to constantly pan. I wish there was a button I could press to center on the cursor that exists in the world that I'm seeing right now with my own 2 eyes. Okay, well. I guess, oh, and now it actually doesn't even change the scene when I do this. So, like, if I did, so this actually is a good idea to make all of these. So, like, for example, the bike path should also be saved as... And then zombie path, let's do that as well. And then hopefully game won't break. Hopefully making like more and more things into these local paths will make that work. Okay. So I think I'm gonna say the substation looks good. Yeah, I don't really feel the need to add the other power components yet. I'll say that is like a less important thing, so like, or like external power. Just make that a thing there. These will not be there. I will put that though in bugs of like that. Okay. So yeah, add a bit more stuff to the doctor's yard. Weston's upstairs couch. This is gonna be a full day, I think. Because we got, well, I don't know. How much more stuff do we got? Oh wait, I already did that. So we got 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna call this part of like that. So 3 days of environment art, 3.5 days for NPCs, and actually, yeah, probably just 3, 4 days, 5 days until Is that gonna be... Is that true? 3 days? Until I need to start making the trailer? There could be a bit more detail there. I think it'll be fine for a trailer. Yeah, I think I want just a sidewalk here, for example. Okay. I like the power station. It actually like looks convincing from a distance. Oh, I forgot to add the materials to this. Where... Hang on, what the hell is this thing? Okay, good. That is correct. So yeah, the arrestor has that. The arrestors need the substation 1. Okay. So yeah, what is the next most important thing to do? I think I want to do the NPC Bob motion, so that's going to be NPC base. I'm going to have a animation player. Bob. That'll be looped. And basically, I think we just slightly scale. Oh, I see. Okay. Took me a bit. But okay, so our char sprite here, I want a different sheet. One that'll actually like show something reasonable. Say that one. Yeah, that'll be fine. Oh yeah, I also need to redo the sound effect for the dialogue. So yeah, dialogue, speech bubble, good sound. And that'll be a can ship, but would be ashamed. So yeah, lightning strike. All of this is now higher priority because we actually need a good sound effect for the bubble coming up. Okay, and now, what do I actually want here? I think I want a scale of like... I think we start at 1. I'm gonna go 0.8 seconds. I think at 0.3, we're a little bit wider. 0.1, no, 1.1, and then like 0.95, 0.95. That looks really bad. What if we did cubic instead? What if we made this a lot smaller? 1.05 instead? And then this can be... Why is this not the thing that I... Hang on, I'm gonna go insane. Is that good enough? That might be good enough. I might do 1.2 and actually have it go a little bit shrunk though, so like about here we would then do like 1.05, 0.95, 1.05. There we are. That looks really bad. That looks utterly horrendous. What if we moved it like this? No, that looks terrible. Horrible. I think delete that completely. Interesting. And now it does something completely different because I changed that. There we go. I don't hate it. Okay, so when we shake, we're gonna do bobbing, or... yeah, let's call this like a detail animation. Alright. Your detail animation player. Okay. So basically we'll just have like function bob and then like play bobbing and then function stop detail anim dot stop. Or no. Bob stop. Let's call it that. And basically here, when we shake, we stop that. Okay. And then also, let's make it maybe like that. Maybe like this. No, I don't like that. I don't like how it like pulsates. It needs to be, yeah, just a bit more even. And also I'm thinking probably even less, like 0.97, 1.03. Try that on for size. Yeah, I think that just gives enough, like, visual interest. Okay. So we should have, basically, if a character is speaking, we make them bob. And then if they aren't speaking, we cease the bobbing. And that'll be speech bubble, I think, should do that. And basically this is going to be track, so like if tracked node and node not equal tracked node dot stop bob, or no, stop, and has method. Okay. Subtract node bob stop, and then this that. If we have node has method bob node bob. Okay. Let's see if that works. So I'm gonna test it with Amir and Herc because they are two characters that you can talk to at the same time, which is not a common thing actually. Because yeah, most of the time you have one-on-one conversations. Yeah, I'm just happy with this. It looks vaguely like a substation. And yeah, then the lines are underground, etc. And I'll have to figure out, what do I want the player to take photographs of at the substation? There could be birds that are like getting electrocuted. Maybe they're like trying to sit on it and they keep getting zapped, so they just get mad and fly around it. Yeah, because if it's a game about photography, What are the things we take photos of? What are the interesting bits of environmental storytelling? Okay, try this again. Didn't work. So if we go to NPC, if we go to Bob. Interesting. So when we go to... Oh, because we don't do it for the thing. Okay. Because the speech bubble does not track this. Okay. Hang on. That's going to cause some other issues. Yeah, because we don't track the speaker directly. We got to close all of these. Close this as well. Dialogue viewer bubble. Track. So yeah, when we find the speaker node, get dialogue tracker. Okay, so we actually need to have okay. Find speaker node. Do we do that anywhere else? Okay. We do that here. Or no, yeah. We'll keep this. And then we're going to have function get tracked. Maybe get tracker of node. Okay. Okay, so thought track. Okay, so here we're going to actually find the tracker now. Okay. There we go. So yeah, now when we don't need the speaker, we can do that. And we're going to do var speaker, or like, yeah, node equals, speaker, and then var face equals get tracker person. So we track the face, and then if person has method Bob, person Bob. And then also we should have like a var active speaker. Okay. And also we should have now, when we exit dialogue, can we have that? Hang on. Function exit, no, end, super end. Okay. And then what we do is also if bobbing speaker, we'll set that to null, and we'll also do bobbing speaker dot stop, or bob stop. Okay. I wish I had interfaces. Yeah, Godot's type system leaves a lot to be desired. But okay, if has method Bob, Bob being speaker equals person. Actually, let's just say stop Bob. Oh no, we're gonna say Bob stop. Bob start person. Okay. Basically, this will be somewhere in here. Function Bob stop. If bobbing speaker. Speaker Bob stop. Bobbing speaker equals null. Okay, and then function Bob start. No, Bob start person node. Okay. And then also when we show narration, we should do Bob stop. And also when we list replies, we should Bob stop. When do we list replies? Probably when we call list replies. And also we should do, yeah, if bobbing speaker. That makes sense. Okay. So now we should be able to, we can actually just do Bob stop here. There we are. So yeah, if we have that, do that, and then we start. Okay. Oh wait, actually, we should always do this though. Yeah, this should actually always be the case because we should restart the animation regardless. Okay, let's see that in action. So yeah, now there are several things that I'm looking for. I'm looking for when one character talks, the other character should stop moving and bobbing. When the player is thinking of a reply, the character should stop moving. When narration shows up, the character should stop moving. And also when we leave dialogue, of course, they should stop moving. Yeah, it is funny. We basically have to like encode the same information in like 5 separate places because I was too eager to like use the most sub node. You know, instead of the tracking on the character, it's tracking their face specifically. Okay. So now, it does that. Okay, and now they've stopped moving. And we could have the player move as well. We could add Bob start to the character, Kitty. You know what? Yeah, I'll do that. So yeah, we can get the animation player detail anim. Okay. So yeah, we'll just get the exact same animation, basically. Except it has to be... So it has to be on the world sprite and this sprite. And if we go to the ghost body, it has to be on that ghost sprite as well. Okay, and then probably like 0.3. Okay. Oh, and then also all of these need to be cubic. because otherwise it won't look very good. And then make these 0.4. Okay. And then this will also have the exact same method where when we go here, let's go just, so get track. Okay. Bob, detail, play, bobbing, function, bob, stop, detail, stop. Okay, so now Kitty should also be able to speak. Or whenever Kitty speaks, she also bobs a little bit. And I think the last thing I'd want is the ability to tween the scale back to 1. So yeah, I think that... Yeah, for the subtle bobbing, I'm trying to think, I'm racking my brain here. How do we make it so that we tween back? I guess we can just do, for example, for these ones, sprite, like mirror sprite. Wait, no, this is going to be miserable to do. You know what? I'm just going to have it do play, reset. And I'm going to do the exact same thing here. So yeah, I'm gonna just deal with having the thing there. Actually, what if we blended it? So yeah, how does the blend work? Keeps its blah animation. So yeah, custom blend. So, and custom blend times between animation transitions. So, blend animation. Turn the blend time in seconds. Yeah, I wonder how this would work. So yeah, if we go to the NPC and they have this and I have this, will that make it look better? Will it break it? Will it make it not work? Okay. Yeah, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like it's doing what it's supposed to do. I wonder... I wonder if it's because reset is this short. So what if reset was 1 second long? And then we just have this, like, duplicated the whole time. And then we can go to player and we can do the exact same thing where this is 1 second and then we just, like, duplicate the keys here. And see how that works. There we go. You can see now I think. Yeah, it's a little clunky, but it is a bit more graceful. I'm going to actually up this to like 0.5, maybe. So the player and the NPCs will just slowly like settle back into their normal animation time or their normal scaling. Yeah, now you can see that the character still bobs a little bit, and then they settle into their like new scale. Yeah, that feels right. I'm going to sit down, and then I'm going to test it in the day when I can actually see anything. We're going to relax by the lamp. Actually. There we go. Okay. So yeah, to show it again. You can see, yeah, they bob for just a smidge longer than they need to. Or a smidge longer than, like, the end of the animation. Maybe it's a bit too long. I think I'd prefer 3. Okay. Yeah, so now it's typically like just 1. Yeah. Now it's only like 1 bob will finish. Rather than like 1.5 cycles of the animation. But okay, that feels good, so let's get that done. Actually, get all of our environment here. Okay, I think all of this stuff is now, substation. And then the rest of this is NPC bombing. Okay. I don't want to do more environment stuff, man. I might just... Do I want to do the stickers? I think I should decide soon if I'm doing those. I'm also mulling over how exactly do I want to do stickers, because I want it to be possible to have a lot of them. So I think what it's going to be is in Kitty Gets a Burger, the way I handled stickers was each collider would have a multi-mesh associated with it where that multi-mesh could have any number of stickers attached to it. And basically that was just created, like, if the player put a sticker on this wall, then I would add a multi-mesh to this wall. And so that way if it ever moved or something, or like was hidden, the stickers would hide with it. And that would make sense. Yeah, that'd be fine. And then I'd probably have them handled the same way as, like, the visibility of the grass, probably. Except maybe, like, you know, when the grass is disabled, you can still see stickers. That makes sense. And then when it's saved, it just saves, like, the like, node path of that object, and then what stickers it had. That'd be fair enough. And then the only major issue would be, how do I want to handle stickers with multiple multiple stickers of different kinds? Because what I did before was each kind of sticker was its own multi-mesh, which means that you don't really get much performance benefit. The same way that here, for example, there's not a lot of benefit to the fact that like each of these candies is its own multi-mesh, because I can't have one multi-mesh with multiple textures on it. At least not the way that I've set it up. But I'd like to be able to do that, and I'd like to have an easy-to-use system for that, of like, okay, this object has these textures on it. I don't want to use a texture array, because those tend to be, like, those are very clunky, looking at them on the... because I can't, like, just get textures and then put them in an array. I have to copy all of the data from the textures. And so maybe I just make one gigantic texture array of all of the stickers. I guess that could make sense. And then we have just like that as part of the custom data. Yeah, because I'm only going to have like 50 stickers. Okay, that seems fair enough. I'm going to double check to make sure that... So the left trigger is not used for anything unless you're in a car. And I can just make it so that you can't put stickers on things when you're in the car. Or I can even just change the handbrake in the car to the other buttons. Because, yeah, like, what other buttons do we not use? I don't know. Oh, yeah, we no longer have the left stick here for this. But oh well. And also, I'm ambivalent about the selfie mode. I guess just the sprite. I probably need to redo it. Kitty just looks like she has a really big chin. It was supposed to be she's kind of looking up at the camera, but it doesn't really make sense. So yeah, I'll probably just slightly readjust her face to make it look more like she normally does. I could do the interior of Bill's house. I gotta do that. Basically, go to Bill. Just set all of his furniture to be wood. And that'll be good enough for a trailer. So that way it's not noticeably white. Let's see. No worries, I'm done with the substation. So I'm doing some other small work. Let's see. Remove that. Get that. We don't need the fence here. We need this. Okay. Get all of these, do wood. Yeah, that wood's good enough. Okay. Yeah, that seems perfectly fine for our intro. Actually, did I ever do the second texture for the toilet? I don't care. Okay, what I'm going to do here, let's do... Wait, hang on. Doesn't this have a customizer now? It does, okay. And so that means that Bill's house hasn't been re-imported since then. Okay, and hopefully the windows still work. Yeah, the windows still work just fine. But okay, that means that now what I can do is we can do like wood. What if we did nice wood here? Or here? Or here? I don't know which one I'm looking for. No, we don't need that one. Okay, we do need the frame. And I'm going to make this unique because I need to do slightly darker material here. Okay. Bill house. Good enough. Well, actually, it's a bit too saturated now. So yeah, what if we just reduce that? And unfortunately, I have to, like, open and close this each time. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Okay. And so I think here as well, I'd like to have the door. What color should a door be? I think an off yellow. So I make that unique. We're gonna do, yeah, more of a tan color here. Like that, probably. Does that feel... No, I think it should be a bit less skin color, a bit more orange color. Okay, that feels good. So yeah, now that exterior is okay. Hang on, I'm gonna stand. Okay, I'm trying to think, what else do I want to bother with? Maybe reducing the saturation of these rocks. I think that's something I want to do. Yeah, let's do that. So that's probably going to be under project, textures, outdoor maybe? No, okay, here. Oh, did my music die? There we go. It feels like these are already quite low saturation. Did I just not do them? PNG files? Because yeah, if we go into the world... take your time, Godot. We got all day. Okay. So if we go into here, this path, yeah, it's just so bright. Hang on. What if I just add another multiply layer? Like, how dark do we need to be for this to do anything? All right, let's test. Okay, so that's dark. Is it because, hang on, is it because this material... Okay, so that's a standard transparency. Alpha clip. No, I think the big thing is I actually want this to be saturation. And then we do like that. Okay. Extremely bright. Why are they so bright, though? Because, yeah, we do actually need this to multiply as well. And then the problem is, I want the grass as an actual separate thing. So we'll call that grass, we'll call it rock. Basically, desaturate. And then darken. Let's also double check these. Yeah, I guess that's what I want. Is that what I want? Maybe. But it's just so much brighter, so much bluer here. Is it because I have this? What if I don't have that? How does that look? No, okay. That certainly does not help. I think it must be there's just a lot of blue in the ambient light. And so it really just pushes it. But yeah, because now these rocks are almost black. But okay, do I want better sound? Do I want better footsteps? I think I do need better footsteps, like grass and a jumping sound. Yeah, I think I need those for this as well. So environment UI, sound effects, bear attack, grass, footsteps, jumping sound, using a photo in dialogue. Okay, and probably maybe updating quests? Nah, that'd be too many things, I think. I kind of just don't want to do work. So what is the hardest part of making a video game? I think... For me, at least, I guess it's overall focus. Prioritization. Figuring out what should be done. Yeah, I guess that's the answer. Yeah, prioritizing, figuring out what's the most important thing to do, and keeping with it. Yeah, because it's easy to get sidetracked and then spend a lot of time doing things that aren't that important. But yeah. let's go, speaking of things that are probably not very important, let's go back to that substation. Yeah, it just looks correct. From the outside, it just looks like a thing that's supposed to be the way that it is. And yeah, eventually we could have some sort of electrical hum and more, maybe, like, maybe you can get electrocuted if you jump on it. Maybe you get superpowers if you electrocute yourself. No, I don't think so. Oh yeah, I forgot. You can, like, get this car unstuck by, like, jumping. Okay. I should probably... Oh, sound effects for the soda as well. Okay. Resume. Let's do save and exit, because what I'm actually going to do now... Status this. Adjustments. Okay. And then what we do is, I'm going to go to the zip line. I'm going to make the zip line's custom activity. So when the player ends the zip line, where is that? That should be something in here. This thing. There. Player animation zip line. Path, speed, so this is a path entry, and then how do we do a path exit? I think I'm going to have a custom state on the player, and so when we do a path, So yeah, when we write a path... Okay, standard body. Function ride path. Okay, so path travel, we're going to have, like, path fall, and then, like, splat. Actually, let's call it funny fall. Splat. Okay. So path travel. Okay, and these will be the same there. Actually, yeah, that'll be correct. Okay, so ground, snail, sit. Let's have state.splat there. So basically, if you press jump, you get out of that state. And then we're going to have funny fall here. So if should land, return set state state.splat. And then when we're in path travel, we actually go to funny fall right here. And then from there, let's see, how do we decide which state is which, actually? Because I'm not seeing where we do snail. Oh, okay. It's right here. Update visuals. State.funnyfall emote falling. And then state.splat emote splat. Okay, let's see if that works. So this should now have it so that when we do whatever we're doing here, and let's make sure that that works. So if we go to path, standard body falling. Okay, I think that works. Okay. I should probably have maybe some sort of fast travel system, or I should save the car's position and have it easier to recover the car. Oh yeah, I forgot. There we go. We can jank the car out of anything. Alright, well, I'll ignore that for now. Good enough. We got where I wanted to be. Okay. So now... we can gamer our way up here. And when we do that, we do this. And then when we're here, we're going to splat. And then we should have some sounds for that. Maybe not in this current iteration. But eventually we'll have those. Also, I'm thinking the sprite for falling or splatting is kind of wrong. Interesting. Why are we... we like went up the stairs. That's funny. Why did we go up the stairs? I think we should have like a comedically violent send-off. Yeah, why does she look so different in this pose? What's different about her face? Her eyes are much wider. As in, like, physically wide, not opened. And I think I'm probably fine with that. Okay, so what else do I want to do today? I guess that's okay with that. I could start on the things... Nah, I don't want to do anything else. Let's make sure all my stuff is saved properly. Okay. Alright. Get all this. Funny cave splat moment. Hashtag gaming. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna call that a day. I will be back at some other point. I guess tomorrow. But okay. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you later.